Welcome to Bill Williams in the auditorium for tonight's production of Craft. We are glad you're here. And once again, I'd like to thank you for supporting live high school theater right here in Great Falls, Montana. We're glad you're here. Woo! Yeah, I agree. Some housekeeping notes. We ask that you please silence your cell phone. Let's see what else. Get groceries. No. Our curtain call at the end of the show, the last people you see in our curtain call are going to be our seniors who have been here working hard, making CMR grow on what it is. Make sure you give some extra, really rowdy applause. That'd be great. After the show, we got merch. We have I Survived the Plane t-shirts. They'll be out there. The lovely and talented Mrs. Evans will be handling that. Full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run a little bit late. There's a problem with the lights. So the idea here is I've given them 5 minutes. We're going to start 5 minutes late. If the lights go a little bit hinky during the show, our CMR actors, we're going to push on through and give you the best show we possibly can. Enjoy Crap.
So I scream, and I fall back against the bathroom door. Huge motion as I hit the ground. Because what had happened was, I slipped the blade aside to look out, and I saw an eye. He was looking in at me. I'm on the floor and I just freeze. Finally, from the other side of the door, I hear the sound of the guy picking up his keys to start down the stairs. Now I had to see what he looked like, so I picked myself up, pressed myself against the door, and once again look out. There's that eye again. It's mine. It's the reflection of my own eye. I realized it just in time to see this freaked out postman heading up the stairs. That was the most scared I've ever been, and it was just me scaring me. The only other time I've heard that scream, what a real scream sounds like, was that night when I heard 241 people make it all at once. I told that story to Candelaria, and she said, "You're missing part of the lesson. There's more than just the one thing that scared you. It was more about being startled. Well, what was the first thing you did? You flipped off the light switch. People are naturally scared of the dark."
Section 1. A picture of infinity.
When I was 8, I lived in a house in Dunbar, North Carolina that was just about a quarter mile from Kendall Avenue, the main shopping street. It was a tall house from my bedroom.
Keep going.
It was a tall house, and from my bedroom on the fourth floor, I could see a billboard. It was an ad to Diet Coke. Two guys were climbing around but exaggerated. They were posing for each other. I loved that billboard. To me, it was a picture of infinity. Models acting like people acting like models. It was the first time I encountered recursion, something that bends back into itself, that refers to itself and so becomes a loop. My name is Candelaria Ortiz. When the incident at the Oak Box happened, they were trying to understand it from every angle. Criminal, psychological, biological, and philosophical. That's why they brought me in.
I have this picture. We were on our way to church, and everybody was so nice that I lined us up with a timer. And I took one. We with the arms being all through them. And before I took the next one, I looked, and it was a miracle shot. It was like the Hail Mary of impromptu photos. So I had a picture in my set, and I put it in a frame. The frame, though, that cardboard leg that bounced to and fro. And so instead of using that, it was leaning against the wall on top of the cabinet. That night, all three kids were headed out to the play. I saw that it had slid down, and I'd take it up to lean against the wall again. So, for Homer and Grace, as they walked out that door, I looked at that picture.
Menachem isn't a town anybody outside of Manor County has.
Sorry, got to take this call. Sorry.
Anybody outside of Amanda County has ever heard of. But everybody's surprised at how pretty it is.
Working in House 134 is all rolling hills and green.
Most people's jobs have something to do with parsley farms. People never think about it, but yes, there are parsley farms. Big ones. Not a lot of people move here, but not a lot of people leave. They like it because it's peaceful and safe.
My wife had pink eye, so I was gonna pick my friend Harley. When I get there, he says, "You're just in time. The kitchen sink's a disaster." I'm a contractor, not a plumber. But I said, okay. After 5 minutes, I said, "It's gonna be the clog of the show. You okay blowing off the show?" He said, "Sure, we can get a drink." I said, "Okay." Or we're gonna pretend we went to the play.
So I'm brand new at this job. I mean, it's my fourth day ever as a detective. And I really want to do a good job, but I can already tell that I'm not. And it's stupid things. Being new in a place gets in your way in ways you don't expect. Why are the two conferences do the same thing? The fax machine. Do you press 9? Do you not press 9? And people are not. Just edit this out, please. People are not as nice to me as I would be in their situation. And I can't even throw the paper open the fax machine.
Use a printer.
So, for the most part, I'm thinking
idea what's going on, but it's clear that I should say, oh, we were at the point we got drink afterwards. And she tells me to look at the news. And I was expecting jail too. But then she turns on CNN.
I wasn't surprised that they could find me, but I was surprised that they knew where to look. My name's Rick Ocbano. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Toronto. I study theater.
911, what is your emergency?
I'm not sure.
Is the light shining?
Yes.
Are you safe right now?
No.
I'm telling you something. More than one. This car's on your way. What's your name, Chica?
Angela.
Angela, I said it for the Oak. Is that right?
Yes.
And there's midnight, the high school student play. Is that where you are?
Yes.
In the theater.
Yes.
Is somebody's hurt?
Everybody.
Is that right? Where were you in the theater?
I'm just standing on the stage.
Very deep breath. Hold this.
None of it made any sense. All of a sudden, this tiny town is the site of a tragedy that nobody's ever seen or heard of. 241 people fall unconscious while watching a high school play that the program tells us is called track. We only had a few minutes for the timeline. We know that the people are fine at 11 after 8 because that's when the usher texts her older brother to pick her up after the show. Then she goes into the theater and turns off her phone. At 9:10, two kids sitting on a ridge below the theater hear what they think is a foghorn, but they assume it's part of the play. At 9:22, we get the 911 call. A girl named Angela Moore, who it turns out is the only person still conscious. When we finally get her out of there, she won't talk. She either doesn't know what happened, or she's too scared to say it.
The Oak Box was international news. I was hiking in the wood near close to New Zealand when I heard about it. People falling unconscious. In a theater that was a cave. I had conflicting thoughts. I thought, how horrible. And I thought, there it is. There's our proof.
Section 2. The Oak Box.
I didn't find out about it until morning, when it was on every single channel. I have that weird feeling that when you see something on TV that's right in your neighborhood. The Oak Box? Again? There's no way this is a coincidence. Everyone was like, that was 8 years ago, but I remember thinking, I don't care if it was 8 years ago. One theater, two tragedies. This box should be a connection.
Menasha Peril, March 19th, 1946. On Measure 2A, funding to build a new theater house on Separate Bluff, passed with 54% of the vote. According to Mayor Roger Whiteman, we intend to use this money to construct a building that will attract visitors to Menasha from all over the country. The search for an architect is set to be immediate.
From architect Greg Hill Swinton from the Menasha Theater Hall. Theaters are soaring spaces, fly spaces, where the scenery can be pulled up out of view. My plan extends as it will flight throughout the building. At the side, our arches will rise like wings, lit from within. My hope is that the building will be known far and wide as Menasha Bay.
Menasha Peril, April 1st, 1947. Ground was broken yesterday on the Menasha Angel, our city's 700-seat theater. Mayor Roger Whiteman opened the ceremonial first shovelfuls of earth, then declared that the new theater house would be a boon to our economy and even more for our students.
Letter from Norma Pike to Adelaide, April 3rd, 1947. Dear sister, I miss you
Vanessa Peril, September 24th, 1947. Man arrested in Marcus Tumble case. Police on Thursday announced that they've taken into custody a suspect in the case of missing 10-year-old Marcus Tumble. The man in custody is 33-year-old.
Jonathan! September 24th, I believe they put Jonathan in jail. It's unbelievable. They're saying there's something to do with that boy who went missing. It's ridiculous. They won't even say why they suspect him.
Letter from Yander Maine Esquire, Samson Gomez Esquire. The trial proceeds well. On the stand, Mrs. Tumble pointed to a scratch on the floor ring that Mr. Moss had in his furnished room. She positively identified it as the floor ring that had belonged to her son. But Mrs. Tumble is not her only ally. Watch the jury as they watch Miss Pike. When her fiancé grimaces, she grimaces. When he looks downcast, so does she. She impeaches herself as a character witness. She will be desperate to testify on his behalf. We must not appear too eager. Excerpt from the transcript of the trial at the courthouse by the seat cross-examination of Jonathan Mullen. So the close ring that I'm holding here, you claim that you picked it up on the beach. Is that right?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, I just did.
Were you afraid you might drown after the courtroom?
Objection!
Sustained. So in the afternoon of May 30th, the afternoon that Marcus Tumble disappeared, you claim to have been taking a long walk, 4-hour walk on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were you in that habit of taking 4-hour walks in the middle of your workday?
No.
Had you ever taken such a walk?
No.
Did anyone see you?
It was a weekday afternoon.
You were in Muncie Limited, shipping his prescription. Is that right? As a typist?
Yes.
How long has that been your employment?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. But you felt comfortable taking 4 hours off?
I needed to think about the world, my place in the world.
So you took this walk without telling anyone. Mr. Moss, is that right?
I wrote a note saying I wasn't feeling well.
And who did you give this note to?
I meant to give this to Mr. Clark, my supervisor, but later found in my own pocket.
Vanessa Peril, November 12th. Verdict announced. Swift justice. After deliberating for only 5 hours, the Jonathan Moss jury announced a guilty verdict on the count of kidnapping and guilty as well on the count of murder. There was commotion in the front row, and Moss's fiancée began to wail so loudly that she had to be forcibly removed. The murderers have spent 1 minute behind bars. In an extraordinary scene, 2 hours later, the boy's father and 3 armed men rushed the bailiff as they made their way from the courthouse by the scene to the transports. The assailants grabbed Mr. Moss and pulled him into the ocean, where they held his head underwater until he was still. A witness reported that the incident confirmed Moss's guilt as he made out to move to free himself.
people just like drown himself with a glass of seawater.
Page 71 of Lawton, California, by Naomi Sampson. In the years since the triple tragedy, dozens of people who like sweethearts, schoolboy daredevils, have looked up at the single-lighted window in the theater lobby, seen a figure, sometimes it's a boy, perhaps grave. Others see the outline of a man, eyes closed, resigned. But on the rare occasions the storm wants to find themselves overtaken, perhaps the shade illuminated by the lightning strike is lit. She holds a sneakering wallet as not an invitation. Drink with me.
After the incident at the Oak Box, one of the things we wanted to know was why Menashe, why the Oak Box? My theory was that they might have chosen a place with some price built in just by being in the building. Every single person in town knows the story of Norma Pike. It's a local tragedy. On an impulse, really, I googled scary theater. It's the top result, 4 terrifying theaters. Princess Theater, Melbourne, Australia, Manila Film Center, Pasay City, Philippines, Theatre Royal, Drury Lane, London, and there it is, 4th out of 4. The Oak Box, Menashe, California. I got the chills because I realized that's how they found the Oak Box.
Section 3. What held them?
It was that Sunday morning, 18 hours after the Oak Box incident. 236 audience members and 5 members of the cast. On the ground. Breathing, thank God. But 2 mysteries. What happened to these people? That was the main question, of course. The second was the doors. How do we make sense of those doors?
Could you tell us your name, please?
I'm Avishai Lesser. I'm the chief forensic engineer with the California Department of Infrastructure.
Efren Salas, I'm a firefighter, Station 41, Menashe County.
My name is Isa Fuente. I'm a neurobiologist at UC Berkeley.
I was the first person to the theater that night. I saw the girl on stage. I'm the one who carried her out. Before I picked her up, she said the thing we couldn't figure out. Forwards.
The first thing I noticed about the bodies was the absence of what's called relative resonance. It's the tendency of people who know each other in tragic situations to cluster. After a fire, we find the bodies of friends holding each other or a parent would be wrapped around a child. But the bodies of the Oak Box were different. People who weren't related sometimes fell on top of each other. People who loved each other in life sprawled in different directions.
Theater camera 1.
What about this girl, Sarah West? She was almost through the door. Was she leaving early?
No. Look at the way she fell. She was running.
And she's wearing earbuds. She wasn't paying attention to the play.
Can you tell what she was listening to?
It's classical. Gymnopathy number 1.
Gymnopathy number 1 by Ersaki.
Yeah.
Something else is strange, Paige. Something wrong?
I didn't know you knew my name.
What do you notice that's strange about the position of the bodies?
The programs. So many people are holding them.
That's what I noticed too.
Holding them like this, like they've been trying to read up until the last second.
It was the speed that threw me. What could overcome that many people that fast? Maybe an electrical impulse? Or maybe some kind of gas would overcome them. We scoured the ventilation system. There was nothing.
I was in the theater a lot. I wanted to spend time with them.
I said to the fireman, any thoughts we could have overcome those people so fast?
How do you know it was fast?
Of course it was fast.
That's what they brought me in. Figuring out how long the bodies were unconscious for is actually not that hard to do if you have the right equipment. When a person loses consciousness, the body temperature drops by 2.5 degrees, but that takes time. So we attached electrodes to their foreheads, micro thermometers, and what we found was a surprise to say the least.
It didn't make any sense.
The first one to call was Paul Schmidt, in seat A13. Next was Anna Stroheim
Frank.
Whatever happened to them, it started at the edges and worked its way in. Like something cooking.
This doesn't seem like a natural phenomenon. This seems like attackers.
Agreed.
241 people fall unconscious one by one. Like they got snuck up on, but that doesn't make any sense. They can see every other person in the room falling over. There's no... I don't see how humans could do this.
Meaning what?
I'm not sure.
Hey, can you guys shut up for a second? Judah? There.
I don't hear anything.
There! I lived in Alaska until I was 10, so I really could hear, and your ears are always covered. It's like a chirp. Again, over there, the bodies are making a sound.
Which bodies?
All of them.
On Sunday morning, we had 2 mysteries. On Sunday afternoon, we had 3. What happened to those people? What were the sounds Efren was hearing? And again, the doors. Those people had 45 minutes to leave. And those doors were wide open.
Section 4. Mary and Jay.
Officials are baffled today by the events in a small California town. On Monday morning, we put out footage. The tip came flooding in. Mind you, we got messages from live comments. I pulled the messages from other counties to check out every single email.
I got the puzzle pile. It was bigger than all the others combined, and I had more crazy in it than I knew was in the world.
I really hope one time to tell the truth. Thank you, dude. I'm not talking about me. I recognize the one on the left.
That was a one foreign leg.
Transcript of a call from Seattle, Boston, the Yellow Box call line, October 7th, 7:32 p.m.
O'clock hotline.
Hello. My name is Mary and Jay. I'm a professor at University of Washington. What I'm about to say will sound crazy.
Uh-huh.
Is this a secure line?
Guess why?
I'm gonna tell you something, but you have to promise not to hang up on me.
I can't promise that.
You've got a theater full of people who've fallen unconscious.
Yes.
But I probably figured out that they were attacked one by one.
How do you know that?
And you're dealing with something called Faranauts.
Paradox. What are paradox?
Start with what they're not, which is human.
Now I'm gonna hang up.
Are all your victims still alive?
Yes.
They won't be if you hang up. Less than a week until their hearts start to stop.
Paradox.
Section 5, Kenosha.
Interview with Kenosha Silverlake Johnson, October 5th, 2025, 8:15 a.m. in National High School, second floor, counseling office.
And do you know why we're having this conversation? Because yesterday, and more specific, because of what happened in the woods. We're here because of what you told people happened in the woods. It happened. You talked to a lot of people yesterday, and you told them all the same story. Is that story something you're sure is true, or is it possible you made some of it up?
It was all true.
That's why we're here today, Kenosha. Because the story about what happened in the woods, the story couldn't happen at all.
Kenosha came out of the womb perfect. When she was 3 weeks old, she had a seizure. We were afraid we'd lose her. You could tell right away that something had changed.
I remember Kenosha's first time in action, because she brought up to me on this morning, and the shape of the pencil was broken, so there was no way to put your name on it, and I said, run to audition, I got a pen. And she said, my name is Kenosha R. Silverlake Johnson.
So the joke very quickly went around. I said at first, that'd be R.
R was to distinguish herself.
To distinguish herself from all of the other Kenosha Silverlake Johnsons.
The kids at her old school could be so mean. Menachik was supposed to be a fresh start.
Thinking that was a bad start. You always had that in your head. You had like a little bit of distance.
Kenosha had all the normal emotions, grief and happiness and nervousness, but they weren't wired right. Like, she'd grimace to say I love you. She spent her whole life studying people's expressions, and she got quite good at showing the right emotion. But she was acting. It was like she was doing it phonetically. But there was one thing she never could manage, and that was lie. There was too much going on. What do you do with your hands? Your eyes look up or down? She couldn't calibrate the information.
She told me she couldn't go to homecoming because her uncle was an astronaut. I wasn't actually gonna ask her, but still getting mad.
I'd give her lessons. I'd say, the situation is you're 2 hours late and I've been trying to reach you. I'm frantic and I'm angry. Go. She'd go blank. Now you tell me your phone ran out of juice. And she was awful. I'd say, Kenosha, you've got to master this or you're going to have the most boring teenage years of anybody on earth.
The bench incident really was an accident. You don't want to get along with these long benches. And Kenosha was sitting all alone, and I came up on the other side and asked if anyone was sitting there. She said, no. And I picked up the bench and moved over to our table so we could get more people. Well, of course, long term, it actually worked in our favor because while she was sitting alone, it's like Clinton went over to her.
Her super stars. This kind of birthday.
I think that she's really, really kind.
We don't have any homecoming queens or cases of prom royalty, but if we did, you'd be both kings.
She just walked over and asked if he could sit with her.
There was one thing, actually, when I saw her the first time, her phone off. She didn't look at who it was, but she never sort of smiled. First she answered the phone, you could hear it in her voice.
Next thing you know, I look over, and there in the cafeteria, she's making him laugh.
A lot of times she was doing this on purpose, but not always. Once I was laughing so
His
hard.
head literally hits the table.
Once, she said to me, I like you more than water.
You see them everywhere together. He laughed and put his arm around her
I
head.
couldn't tell from it or not.
He's literally a week into school, and there's this new girl standing in front of the audition board because the picture pencil was broken.
I wanted to be a play, so I did some research and found the best book about acting. It's Judah Hawkins' Respect for Acting. And it's pretty famous, and it's great. You should read it if you're interested in acting at all.
We had talked about the idea of Kenosha being involved in theater because, well, I thought she'd be quite good. She was so good at mimicking emotions. I said, most people aren't. Go for it.
Kenosha, the story that you told to so many people, it made some of those people anxious. It scared them.
Did they cancel the play?
No. And if it scared them enough, why did you want the play canceled?
Something bad is going to happen.
What's going to happen? Can you tell me what?
It was really early for the fall play to be happening, but we just went with it. We assumed it had something to do with this pendulum tragedy.
Marsh Pendulum was one of my best teachers. Such a shock. 2 days before the start of school, just bam, dropped dead of a heart attack. She was 38, didn't smoke, exercise.
No! They hold his head and one of them says something in his ear. They whisper, but I hear it completely clear. After he says it, the third one starts crying and falls over down the roof of the tree. What he whispers is, can I tell you a secret?
Kenosha, you concentrate the little one here instead of their eyes. The girls have been flashbacks.
No, I know the difference.
Have you heard of anybody whose eyes lit up? So is it possible you imagined it? And if what you said happened in the woods, there should have been 4 sets of footprints, right? But they only found 2.
We must have erased them.
The police followed the tracks to a tree, just like you said, but they found the body there.
They moved it.
And what about that sound? That sound that they were making that seemed like it was coming from everywhere?
It was a foghorn.
There are no foghorns within 200 miles.
It was a foghorn.
Foghorns are an example of a phenomenon called duotones, sounds that mean different things in different contexts. In the distance, a foghorn is comforting, it tells you you're safe. But if you hear it loud, it's terrifying. You're too close. It's too late.
After the story goes, Kenosha starts acting strange. Like she would go to South Wing, where a theater is. We're going all even to headline, and I say, Kenosha, your pretty girl Kendra in jeopardy. But she would not go anywhere near that theater.
She started to talk bad about the play. She pulled me aside and said, "This play's like a malady." I had no idea where she read.
She told me the play would be like a sick dog, only scarier.
She said it would leave a greenish taste in my mouth.
It's amazing she had time for class. She talked with over a quarter of the school.
She pulled me aside, don't go to the play, let's play charades that night.
We should have a movie night.
She said, please, please, please don't go to the play. I said, Kenosha, I'm in the play.
She was so scared to go to the play. But of course she ended up going. She thought she could save those people. My brain has an anchor right here. Based on my thoughts, I can't see through it.
Please, I like you underwater.
Kenosha told everyone she met that the play would end in horror. I knew she couldn't lie, and I still didn't believe her.
Email from Mary J. to Wendell Page, October 4th. 3 days before Mary J. was found dead in the study.
Aeronauts, perfect replicas of people. These things absolutely everywhere. They mimic our emotions. The only person who's ever been able to detect a paranormal is somebody who was mimicking emotions herself. It was the girl who disappeared. Kenosha.
Section 6. Search.
Email from Mary J. to Wendell Page, October 5th. 2 days before Mary J.'s death.
Miss H, please respond to me. When Aeronauts attack, it's 99.9% fatal. Once you're attacked, they have up to 2 weeks before your heart stops. But it's going to stop. In the whole history of the time this has been happening, there's only ever been one survivor.
I was still working the soft file. There was only one person who knew what happened that night. And if I wanted to talk to her, I was going to need an angle. I walked into Sergeant Brock's office without knocking and said, "Let me talk to the girl."
I said, "The girl's useless."
She said forwards to the fireman, which doesn't make any sense.
She wanted out of there.
What if what she said was 4 words? She was trying to tell him something that someone said. Let me talk to the girl. I can get those 4 words.
With all the bodies, the theater felt heavy and warm like a greenhouse. It was 241 bodies, but they put IV tubes into all of them, so the IV bags were up here. And that's what you noticed at first. It was actually kind of beautiful because the theater was dark and those bags glowed.
He came to me and he said, I need to take some time off.
And he said, I'm sorry, I need all hands on deck right now.
After he said, and he choked, he said, I know these people. I love these people.
I wanted to help out the theater so I could figure out what those noises were that the bodies were making. He said, nobody can hear those noises except you.
And after he said, that's why they need me.
The National Psychiatric Facility, Stabilization Room 4, October 21st, 9:30 a.m.
Angela, may I come in? I'll sit over here. My name is Gwendolyn H. And I'm one of the people who are trying to figure out what happened in that shooting. Does that security camera bother you? It shouldn't. There's nobody watching. The camera's just there in case if something went wrong, which it won't. Then they can look at it later and see what happened.
Miss Mel? This is Efren Salas. I was in your 8th grade trigonometry class 14 years ago. I'm here to make sure you're safe and comfortable, but that's not all. I know you can hear me. I think you're making sounds. You and everyone else in this theater. If you can make any sound, I'll hear you. I have great hearing. Try it for me. The year I was in your math class was the year those midterms got thrown up to your desk before you attended grade day. Make a noise if you remember that. For me, it was a nice memory because I was one of 6 kids who had that grade 3, and instead of making me a suspect, you deputized me. I was new to the school and nervous, and I never told you what that meant to me. To be trusted like that. That whole experience shaped who I wanted to be. It's part of why I fight fires. So, I just wanted to tell you. I did steal those tests. Hey! Why? Listen to me sound over here! We'll do it again one more time!
You gotta keep your voice down.
You can hear us!
Menachem Psychiatric Facility, stabilization room 4.
Thank you for seeing me again.
Answer every question you possibly the second I kick you out. What's up with your high school English?
Hamlet.
In 15 seconds, tell me your life.
Born and raised in Indiana, wanted to become an artist, so I moved to New York City. That didn't work out, but I met my husband. We moved here to pursue law enforcement. My daughter's in 3rd grade.
What's 6 times 8?
48.
Who are you most afraid of?
Millipedes.
What's the secret?
What secret?
Tell me the secret, I kick you
Alex,
out.
what else are you talking about?
It was 4 words.
4 words? 4 words that someone in the theater that I said. Yes?
Yes.
What were they? You don't even have to say them. You can write them or whisper them as soft as you want.
I'm too scared.
There's nothing here that can hurt you. Who said the words? Male or female?
Male.
Adult or student?
An adult.
What were the words?
I'll tell you next time.
Tell me the first one. Give me just the first word.
The.
The. The first word is the. Thank you.
Theater camera 3.
There are scientists in Guangzhou, China, who have this therapy that seems to help in coma patients. It's a machine that makes sound waves, and it's so huge that they have put it in a carpet plane, and it's already flying over the Pacific. And there's a group in Cape Town that are studying some kind of drops that'll go to your eyes and see the hearing function. And all over Europe, in all different ways, people are praying for you.
Efren,
Captain Donovan?
I got bad news. The EEG results came back. None of my show brain function.
Well, brain function that they can measure.
They would register.
Are you a scientist? Whatever happened to high brainwaves?
That's not possible.
Well, this is impossible!
They're breathing. They're just dead.
Then why are you making those noises?
No one can hear those noises like you.
Because I have great hearing!
Or because you want to.
I hear them never show me! Sorry.
It's not good for you to be here so much.
It's great.
When was the last time you slept?
I don't sleep, they're sleeping for me.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't want to lose you too.
Okay, I'll sleep.
Menachem Psychiatric Facility, stabilization room 4.
Angela, it's me again. I brought something. I hear you're good, and I brought sheet music if you feel like playing. Let's set this. There. I would love to hear you play, but in order to do that, I'm gonna have to get closer. If that's okay with you. And I
4 and 6, October 14th, 4 p.m.
God, fellas, I figured it out. I know what's going on.
I'm here to escort you out.
No!
Yes, Efren.
I figured it out!
I was worried about you.
Haven't you ever had a dream that something scary is coming towards you? You can't go, you can't make a sound. Except you can make these tiny little squeaks that people outside the dreams can hear. They're trying to scream their way out of there.
Efren, you know I like you. I think you respect me.
I do.
But you are not in your right mind.
I'm fine.
I disagree. The more you come with me.
But they need me here.
There's no they there anymore.
I can hear
The
them.
debate now is when to take them off life support.
No.
The doctors have made the decision.
And they got it wrong.
I need you to come with me.
Almost.
Or you're fired.
I don't care about that.
No department in the country will want to hire you.
I'll change your race.
I'm 2 seconds from dragging you out.
You're not big enough.
I run the deputy.
I'll slip through the back.
Get out the seat right now.
No.
Guys!
There's still people in those bodies! Listen to me! If you can hear me, I need you to know something. I need you to know that you're loved. This town loves you, and God loves you, and I love you. I will not let anything happen to you. Please, help me. If you can. If there's anything you can do to reach back to me, I need you to do it right now. Give me 1% and I will reach to the other 99.
Let's go, Efren.
Here?
I hear it too. You're in there. By the way, get him out.
We've been over this. Something protected you. I don't know what was written about that today? Nothing. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And the play. You can't remember anything other than those 4 words. The play's not over. I would tell you it's all play. Angela, the people in the theater are running out of time. I need a favor. What? When you get out of here tomorrow, I want you to come with me to the theater. No! I'll be right with you. I can't! And I guess you will walk in there and remember what happened. Let's go to the performance table.
Ah! This is typical Friday. Math, biology, English, social studies, PE, Toastmasters.
Which is actual the Y.
Yeah.
Are you the speaker?
No, that's why I'm in Toastmasters. I can remember the speech because my head gets all like, and my chest hangs up. Oh,
What?
it was my his speech. My dad, he's an internist. He gave me a pill. Inderol, just helps the adrenaline from taking over so I can breathe normal.
You should fill the box forever.
No, I took 3.
Section 7. Trap.
You? Flash. Scary movies make us wince, even though we know there's no way anything could come out of that screen behind us. If anything, it's theater. That should be scary. Unsent email from Mary and Jay. The afternoon is dead.
The attack is so simple. Bernard says, can I tell you a secret? The victim says yes, and that's a mistake. Because I think of all the scary things that the secret could be. Bernard was specific. Tiny extension of one of their incisors punctures the ear, breaks every bit of adrenaline from the victim's body, and they fall unconscious. These things frighten me. I study them, but I study them from a distance. They're right on the border between the monsters who we pretend scare us and the people who actually do.
Theater covers 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Final recording.
You can do this.
Who's that?
It's us. Detective H, and you remember Angela? You carried her out of here?
Yes, hello. Are you alright?
No,
Well, being here takes time to get used to.
I know almost every face.
You can help them. Can you remember what happened exactly? You're different.
Are they all still alive?
We're giving them water and nutrients, but soon that's not going to be enough.
Could you leave us alone? For just a bit.
Well, I'll be in the back. There's others back there who need us.
Do you remember where you were sitting?
Right where I am now.
I want you to think about the day leading up to the play. There were posters all over the school.
Yeah, they said don't tell the secret that they changed. It said, can I tell you a secret?
Good. So the last day the posters changed again. They added the title of the play. Do you remember that?
No,
You don't know the title of the play.
I don't.
It might help to get up on stage.
No.
Just come up here with me. You made a phone
No!
I'm sending someone. What it was? This was on the other way. What's your name, Chica?
Angela!
Angela. I'm sending to the Oak Box. Is that right?
Yes!
And there's a play tonight. The high school student play. Is that where you are?
Yes!
In the theater.
Yes!
And somebody's hurt.
Everybody!
Who's that again? Where are you in the theater?
I'm just standing on the stage!
A very, very deep breath. Hold it. Angela, what are you thinking about?
The end! I broke knowing it was too late.
I want you to look at something. This is a program from that night. That's the title of the play.
Trap?
What's wrong?
It was right in front of us.
What was?
The play was a trap and it was even called Trap. The play was in sections. One, a picture of infinity. Two, the old box. Three, like Elmo. What, Elmas? Something happened at a theater at high school play. Everyone fell over unconscious.
What happened in the play? What's the story about?
That is Post about.
In the play you were watching, people had fallen over unconscious in the theater.
Yes, it was mostly interviews like a documentary. Everyone fallen over unconscious except one girl.
And in the play, what had happened to them?
There were these creatures, we called them human when they weren't. They were called Pharaohs. They attacked the audience one by one and then all at once.
That was in the play. What happened in real life? The people you were with.
The same thing!
No, what made the audience who had fallen unconscious?
Those creatures! That's what attacked us! They are like not pillows! They appeared!
Those things are in a play, they're not real.
Yes, they are.
I promise they're not.
They confuse people! The play is about all the things that were about to happen to us. And so they started to touch on what was real and what wasn't.
Creatures who feed on fear and put on plays, it's ridiculous.
Tell me why it's ridiculous is how they
Even if they were real, they're not here now. Take a very, very deep breath. Hold it.
Stay away from me!
What's wrong?
Who's here? What's in the theater?
Are you alright?
I think you're okay. You should be leaving.
No way. I just got freaked out.
This place can do that. You want me to stay?
Please, for a little bit.
Tell me more about the creatures.
In the vile sections of the play, the Pharaohs started to attack.
Attack guns.
Yes,
How did they do that?
they. One of the girls in the story, she walked out to the audience and she was narrating what she was doing. She stopped in front of a boy and she asked him a question. Can I tell you a secret? When the boy nodded, she leaned out and whispered something. The boy fell over out of his chair, but the audience didn't think anything of it. Because in the program he was listed as Follow Boy. Then she moved her fingers up and did the same thing. Can I tell you a secret? When the girl nodded, she leaned out again.
There was something we couldn't understand at first. If a paranoid attack depends on anxiety, then why were these people falling over? They didn't think it was real, so they should have been safe. What these people were afraid of wasn't death. It was that one of the actors would come and whisper in their ears and they wouldn't know what to do. They had stage fright, which, as it turned out, just as fatal as fear of death.
By the time she got to me, I was scared. She whispered to me and nothing happened.
You've taken the interval.
Yeah,
How many people had fallen over by then?
a lot.
Why would it be somebody you left?
They thought it was just a play. Someone's cell phone got off, but if you look at the program, it said cell phone guy. Can I tell you a secret?
Stop! Stop the play! My name is Kenosha R. Strickland Johnson. Everybody listen up. The color only made us get here. You have to understand your own safety. There's a small shop trapped in the car in the parking lot, so you'll all have to check to make sure it's not your car. Worst liar in the entire world. Please leave! They think you're part of the play. You're the one playing me? Yes. You're a human. What am I then? A fair one. You're human, and you are saving them! Now we leave! They think you're part of the play because you are part of the play. No, I'm not. Then why are you doing this? I'm not. Yes, you are. Right here. It says real Kenosha. This is the trick. There's a part of the play where you get chased in the woods. You made a whole part of the play because you back in the attack. That's part of the script. There is no script. Right here. That's not real. This is a trap. It's a high school play. The perfect trap. Everybody has to know that nobody's allowed to leave. Everybody, they feed on anxiety. You've only lost a few so far, but that'll change fast. The lights will go out, you'll hear a crazy loud noise, and their eyes will light up as they start to feed you. There's nothing you can do that'll get them out of their
No! You let me tell you the secret, I'll wake up the rest of the audience. Pass. I can't do it. I don't believe it. When your only chance to save them is to believe me. Can I tell you a secret? So smart. Go ahead. Can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you a secret? I took 4 Indorol. Surprise! Too bad. Lost your remote and everyone out there still thinks this is a play! Everyone go on. Mom! Here's where you are now!
That was the sound I heard that night. The sound of all those people being free. The best dream you can imagine.
25 days after the events of the Oaklocks began, they came to an end.
My name is Angela Lord. I survived the fair law of the national attack.
My name is Clifton Martin. I survived the play.
Why, Yogi? I'm glad because the Kenosha are still really process.
Those just saved my life.
My whole family was in the theater that night.
Thank you, Kenosha. Those who have been unconscious had no memory of what had happened, but it changed me. I published 3 papers.
I got a medal.
I got a promotion.
I got a parade.
I got Kenosha.
But the pain only passed. What had happened seemed impossible. Psychologists wrote it off as an example of mass hysteria. People getting scared in a place that already scared them.
I lived through the events and even I'm not sure. Did it all really happen? Or was it like that eye in the peephole? The most scared I've ever been. It was just me scaring me.
Young lady,
I have bad news. The play's not over.
The main thing about a trap is it needs to confuse the prey. Why would a play have a false engine? What's real, what's not?
We're running a few minutes late. There's a problem with the lights.
The prey is most vulnerable when it thinks it's escaped. I'm almost out of
You say to an audience, you are going to die, and they'll stay in their seats because they don't want to miss it.
Oh, paradox for 16 years old.
Except one.
People are naturally scared of the dark.
Can I tell you a secret?
Can I tell you a secret?
It's too